Welcome to Well, That Didn't Work, a podcast about a group of friends getting together to pretend to be other people, creatures, and things, doing things that mostly don't work out for them. I'm your host and your GM, and my name is Percy, and with me I've got Mike.
And I'm playing Kellinack, and we're going spelunking.
And we've got a new player with us today, Mike's son, Daniel.
Hello, I'm going to be playing Callum Tepesh.
And then we've got Jason.
Alcrag here.
And Rick.
Good evening, and I'll be playing Fendel Merlot.
And last time on Dungeons and Dragons, the Brew crew, you guys were wandering around the city of Fairhaven. Initially, you ran into some of the prophets, really a prophet of one of the temples, and she kind of led you on this prophetic journey of seeing a potential future that you could possibly be involved in, one that shrouded the light and shadow, to which Kellinack responded with a desire to seek out the Church of the Sacred Flame. I almost said Holy Flame. That's a different thing. Church of the Sacred Flame, which has some roots in his deity, Dol Ara. Once you guys got there, you realized that the church itself had been abandoned for several decades, ever since the end of the last war. And you not only found it abandoned, but you saw some things like candles that were lit, and when you looked at them, they extinguished, and a couple of other things. Rick picked up Fendel picked up a strange jacket that he then could not take off. We'll get into that in just a moment.
Had to put it on.
He had to put it on. He didn't even look for curses, didn't even think of anything that might be wrong with it, just immediately put the jacket on.
It's very stylish.
It really was. You know, great for you. I really enjoyed you putting that jacket on.
I know.
So Fendel put this jacket on, and then right about the time that Kellinack said, "Man, I really wish Dolora would send me a sign," he did, and it lit up a part of the wall using some basically light shone through specific windows that usually tell particular times and shine on particular Dol Ara or Sacred Flame scriptures for reading on the walls, and the area that the light shone on showed them a hole in the wall that led to some secret stairs that led down into the lower levels of the church. At which point Kellinack immediately went down the stairs. You can see by now, hopefully, that this party is not the thinking group. So, Kellinack leading the charge, Fendel at the rear, I believe. You went in last? Or did you go in the middle? I know Kellinack is in front for sure.
Actually, I'd probably be having a, well, maybe not at this point yet, but yeah, I'd follow Kellinack.
Yeah. Would you be in the back of the group, or are you going to be in the middle?
If I'm acting myself, I'd probably be in the middle or towards the front.
Okay, in the middle then. Great. So you guys lit torches, and you're on your way down this damp tunnel, this damp stairwell. And that is where we will pick up today's story. But before we get too deep into it, Daniel, I wanted to give you a chance to kind of give us some background on your role-playing experience, kind of how long you've been doing games, and what your experience, like what kinds of games you like to play.
So the experience that I've had playing role-playing games and stuff like that so far is with Pathfinder, and I played a year-long session of that. Star Wars, the Fantasy Flight version, and D&D. So far, in total, I've probably had about a year and a year and a half worth of experience playing, but that's whenever I really get the chance to.
Sure. And what was your character's name again?
My character's name is Callum Tepesh.
Callum.
Tepesh mode.
What was that?
And we got Akrak and Fendel. All right, so you guys are walking down this stairwell leading into the lower levels of the church. Now, this is not a public space. This is not something that anybody really knew about, except maybe high priests of the church. And there would have been a secret entrance that they could get into. So it's not like there's a map of this anywhere, except for, well, in my
I
hands.
was looking at that. Not actually looking at the map, but...
Yes. So as you descend these steps, it's not really a spiral staircase. It does kind of go around the perimeter of the church itself. And by the time you make a full circle around it, you have entered into the first room. As you finish descending this stairwell, you see a room in front of you that who is human, other than I know you're a variant human, Daniel, but we haven't met you just yet. What are you guys? You're a half elf. Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Rick? Okay, Rick has dark
Yes.
vision. Does Akrak have dark vision? Okay, so the bird does not have dark vision, and the dwarf does have dark vision. So
Should have been an owl.
do you have a torch lit, Akrak?
I do.
Okay, good.
Just as a correction, I think as we started this last time, I said I casted light on
Oh, yes,
my
you're right.
shield
You're right.
and proceeded
And you
down the
descended.
hallway.
That is correct. So we've got a light on the shield. So you descend into this first chasm. Really, it's kind of a room. It's a very, very old looking room. And in front of you, you see, like immediately in front of you, is kind of a crumbled wall. The room is itself about 45 feet long, so it's a very, very large room. It looks like it used to be kind of a secondary worship site, possibly, for some of the church, some of the leadership. There used to be well-attended seats and things like that in this room, but there aren't anymore. They've all either crumbled or been moved, but about a good third of the room has crumbled in on itself. And has created just a giant pile of rubble leading up to kind of the stage area. You see a door to the south and a door to the east. Other than that, the room is kind of bare. The room itself is dusty and has a lot of damage. You can't really tell if it's from weathering or from combat, but that's kind of what you see is basically a large portion of the room has collapsed on itself.
Are you drawing a map over there, Kellinack? Okay, good.
So the room is going to be 45 feet by 30.
Kellinack, does this any of this seem to fit previous temples of your kind?
None that I'd had access to. All this is for usually the higher ups.
Oh, I see. And I realize we need light, but you're kind of like letting everything know we're down here.
I don't see the problem.
I see. Okay. Well, kind of makes it hard to reconnoiter unnoticed.
You're using big words.
Well, to sneak around, maybe, so that.
Okay. Well, if you want to, there's a door there and a door there. By all means, go pick one.
Literally.
Callum, you are in a dark 5x5 room. You have somehow slipped on something. You were kind of unconscious for a moment, so you don't really remember totally how you got here. You remember you were mostly just walking outside of some weird abandoned building in your hometown. I'm going to go ahead and retcon and say you're from Fairhaven. So you were just walking around an abandoned building, a church that you've never been inside, you've never had a reason to go inside, and suddenly you slid down a sinkhole that was on the edge of the building as you were walking, and you've probably been unconscious for the last half hour or so. And you wake up and you're in a little 5x5 room, and it's totally dark, and now you can kind of see a light coming from under the door and people kind of griping about that light.
So I'm going to try to go towards where the light source is coming from and start feeling around. And I'm assuming it's pitch black in here.
Yes,
so it's
pitch black other than the light that's coming under. So you can see where the door is. The door itself is locked.
All right. I'm going to start just wailing on the door. I'm going to be like, hey, who's out there?
All right, so you guys hear beating on the door to the south.
I told you were going to alert someone.
And it's shouted, "Who's out there?"
And Kellinack will answer, Kellinack of the Marho clan.
Kellinack of the
gosh.
what? I don't know who y'all are, but can y'all just get me out of here? I do not want to be in here anymore, please.
Well,
I don't even know how I got in here.
Well, who are you?
My name's Callum. It'd be better if I can introduce you face to face.
Are we scared of the dark there, wee laddie?
Yeah, well,
Can't really see too much in here.
tell us a little about yourself. Why should we let you out? How do we know who you are?
Akrak
Like a
goes
therapy
Oh, my
session.
friend, he needs some help. Just go over and open the door.
I was gonna say Akrak just goes over and
uh,
opens the
It's
door.
locked.
The door's locked.
Start bashing my shield into it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll open the door. All right. Just
All right, so you did tell me, Findel, at the end of the last session that you were actively looking for traps with your passive perception.
Okay.
The door has a trap on it.
The door's trapped. So why don't you back off a little, Kellinack? Let me see if I can untrap.
That is a
this
very
thing.
calm reaction to someone who is bashing a trapped door with your shield.
Kellinack, will you stop it? The door's trapped.
There we go.
Oh. Well, thank you for letting me know. He just
Yeah,
bashed the
well,
door.
if you give me a chance before you run in with your head and start hitting things.
So I hear the word trapped, and I immediately pull away from the door.
Let me see what I can find here. And I rolled a 17.
17 will. Are you trying to break the trap or pick the lock?
I'm trying to disarm the trap.
You disarm the trap successfully. So you find the mechanism. It would lead kind of from a chain into the side, like bottom siding of the door, and you're able to kind of disconnect that down there. It would have been some sort of a dart or arrow that would have come out at you. So the trap has been disarmed.
All right, the trap's disarmed. Let me try to pick the lock. Is that okay, or do you just want to smash it in here?
Oh, they get a choice.
No. 14 to pick the lock.
14 is not going to pick the lock.
My turn.
All right.
He's going to get a running start to do a
geez.
shield slam.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Do
it.
you have silence or anything like that you could do so that maybe we wouldn't alert everybody that we're here?
It's a little late.
It's always a little late with you.
All right, that is actually only going to be a 6, so I'm going to bounce off the door.
You rolled a 6 on a strength check? Isn't that your strong point?
No,
Oh,
I'm a cleric. My strong point's actually going to be sitting down in my wisdom and constitution.
okay. All right. Cool. So you bounce off the door.
Looks like you're going to be staying in there a while. I'm sorry about that. All
Try
right.
to pick that lock again. Or
yes,
Akrak, you take a shot.
All right, I'll take a shot at it.
What are you doing?
Sleight of hand.
Slide hand picking the lock?
Yep.
Cool.
I'll take a shot at it.
Are you using like your talons? You don't have like a thieves kit.
No, so it would be my talons. So
Okay.
Disadvantage on that?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, either way, it's not bad. It's a 17.
17 does it. So Akrak flaps his wings and let me in there, slips his index finger talon into the lock and picks it pretty quickly and successfully, even with the disadvantage.
Yeah.
So, the door...
I rolled a 12 and a 13 on the die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the door creaks open, and you see a human inside who kind of winces at the initial light from the shield that
And my
comes
torch.
in, and the torch, from it being pitch black to new light. It's kind of stunning for a moment.
Can you put that thing down?
So I dropped the torch.
Yeah, the torch is really what's blinding.
I would, but it'd be kind of rude to put the bird on the ground.
I think he's talking about your solar flare there, sir.
Oh, it's not that bright. Turn around the other direction.
Yes, it is that bright.
So, who are y'all, and why did y'all put me down here?
Well, we didn't put you down here. We were going to ask you the same thing. What are you doing down here?
I was just walking around minding my own business, and I just remember waking up in here.
That's what they always say.
It's kind of coincidental that y'all happen to
So I walk into
be here.
I
As soon
walk
as I
into
wake
his
up.
room and kind of look around.
It's like a dusty closet. It used to house like probably robes or something.
Do I see a hole in the ceiling or something that where like?
I mean, you can like move your torch up, and you do see like a hole of dirt and some rubble in the ground where the ceiling of this room had kind of caved in.
So his story seems to check out. I mean, and I kind of point the torch up at it. You can clearly see he probably fell down from outside.
Well, now with this, we would be under the temple at this point.
Yes.
So he wouldn't have been outside. He would have been wandering around in the temple.
No, because of the angle that it came in down on.
Right.
Oh.
The door
Yeah.
the door that opened for us was on a temple wall.
Yeah, it opened.
Okay.
It opened out to the like on the
Okay.
outside wall.
So was this the room to the east or the south?
This was the room to the south.
Okay.
So I give a. Do you mind if I roll investigation just to see if there's anything else in here now that there's light and stuff?
I mean, you wouldn't have to roll investigation. You're not going to find anything else in this room.
Okay.
Yeah, you can turn over all the rocks and roll. You've got time.
It would most likely be perception anyway.
Well,
Yeah. So what you've got left is a bunch of rubble. To kind of the
I was seeing if anything fell out of his pockets.
oh, no, nothing fell out of his pockets. You kind of got.
He fell down a hole.
Akrak also wouldn't care about that.
Yeah, I'm still part bird.
I
Shiny object.
I guess, in the most roundabout of ways. So, what you've got is to
I
the
would
north,
return it to him,
to the
but-
north and west, and northwest is the crumbled pieces of the room, and then to the east is another door, which Findel, you already know, is trapped.
Okay, we have a trapped closet, and this other door is trapped too. But I have a feeling the other door doesn't lead to a closet.
So while he's looking, I'll look back over at the new young one that's sitting here and go, well, lad, you're more than welcome to stick with us, but if you don't want to, there's the stairs and they go back up that direction.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hang around with you guys for a few minutes here, but don't expect anything long term. We're just using each other here.
Using each other.
All right,
I'm not sure
Findel, how
exactly
did you
what
do on that disarming the trap check?
Well, I rolled an 11.
Great. You don't disarm the trap. Well,
Do I fail enough to trigger it, or
you're
do I
going to
just
know
not?
that there's no longer a trap on the door.
Oh, great.
It definitely hits you. You see, just as you trip the trap, a dart made of ice shoots up to you and deals 3 damage.
Ouch.
And
Dang
it just kind of hits you in your left arm. At which point, you hear, you yourself hear in your head, "Oh, you got to take better care of me. What are you doing here?"
What the heck was that?
Do you say that out loud?
I say that out loud.
Okay, you guys didn't hear that voice.
Did y'all hear something?
No. And also, I offer you a torch.
Just you saying, ouch?
Does he
You didn't hear an unusual voice say, "You've got to take better care of me"?
It's me over here, and you feel your left arm kind of tugging like on your jacket that you put on.
Who's there? I'm going to make a perception check to see if I can notice anybody.
Nice to meet you, I'm Callum.
I rolled
Is
a
your
crit.
friend normally?
You
my perception-
definitely did not notice anyone.
I don't know what that's all
At all.
about.
Okay.
There's someone in the room with us. They're invisible. I felt them.
There is no one in the room with you. I am on you, and
I know I don't
roll a
count.
dexterity save.
I know I don't count so well, but 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Just us.
I rolled a dexterity save of 26.
Okay, so you feel something tug on your back really hard, but it does not pull you to the ground.
Somebody's behind me. Now
all
it sounded
behind
like you. Somebody's behind me. What the heck? What's going on? There's someone in here.
I'll burn my spell slot. He's acting weird enough to do this.
Man, It's almost like we brought the spellcaster so he could complain about using spells.
I'll use fairy fire.
Okay,
Just
you use fairy fire. It outlines the 4 of you and the rocks and objects around, but nothing else.
I know somebody pulled on my jacket here.
Well, clearly, if you would open your eyes, you would see there's no one else in here with us.
Well, your fairy fire's not lighting
Roll
it
a
up.
strength check, Rick.
Oh, that's my best stat. Well, actually, strength's not bad. 7.
You're going to take 1 damage as your left hand hits you in the head.
Rolling composure.
What the
I
heck?
rolled a 3. I laugh.
It's me, you silly half-elf. You picked me up off the chair.
What? What?
You can
Am I-
roll an insight check if you would like.
Yeah. Insight is 16.
Yes, you can tell that it is somehow the jacket talking to you.
And it's talking in my head.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna try to take the jacket off.
It holds itself to you.
What are you? What's going on here?
I am
Are you-
here to protect you. My name is Claire.
Claire? Claire the jacket?
My friend here. What? You seem to be talking to the wall.
I'm talking to the jacket.
That's not much better.
I agree with you here. I'm in its embrace, and Claire, you're here to protect me.
We.
Okay, well that's really nice. But who or what are you other than a jacket?
Do you need me to be something else?
Well, no, not necessarily, but I'd like to know what exactly it is that I'm dealing with here.
Is your friend, I'm leaning in towards the Archon.
Recently. I mean, we did meet a bard of. Well, I'm trying to whisper, so it's not super high, but
Sure, but everyone else wants to hear you.
true. I mean, we did see a bard of prophecy recently, so maybe there's some ill effects for the half elf when
Look,
they go through that. I don't know.
There's no ill effects. It's definitely this jacket is talking to me. You can't hear it because it's in my head. And now I'm talking to it without talking. I'm talking to it just telepathically.
Well,
basically.
I don't know that you would know to pick up on that. Like, I think you can hear it telepathically, but I don't know that you would know as a character at this point
That it's
you can talk to it.
No, I don't. That's
telepathically.
what I'm trying.
Findel?
I'm going
Or you're
try
gonna try to
that. Yes.
think. Okay, roll me an Arcana check to see if you kind of make that connection.
No, I don't make
Great,
any
you
connection.
don't make the
I'm
connection.
clueless at this
Yeah,
point.
so you try to think really hard, and it doesn't really work.
Findel. Now, if this was me you were talking to and I said, I'm talking to me jacket,
Well, I know.
what would you be thinking?
I know how you like the sauce, so I would just assume that you were sauced. But I am not sauced.
So you're drunk?
No, I'm not drunk.
Roll a will save or a wisdom save. Will saves aren't a thing in this.
No. Those 20s have just reversed. I rolled 2 20s, now I rolled 2 2s.
Okay, great. So you guys see hair begins to sprout all over Findel, and nothing else changes about you, but you do grow into quite the hairy person on literally every part of your body.
And I noticed this.
I'm like, that's just so gross. That's like super gross. Like,
I take.
Are
like,
you
2
turning me
steps
into a
back.
lycanthrope? I don't. What the heck is going on here? Are you doing this? Claire, is this you?
This is what I can do.
You can make me hairy? Can you now make me unhairy? It's very unbecoming.
I could.
Please?
I'm gonna go up and lay my hand on him and just cast my cantrip resistance.
It doesn't do anything.
No, but there's something funny going on here.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I almost cast Cure Wounds. I was like,
So the hair sucks back up into your body, and you resume your normal shape. So Rick,
And strangely, I feel vindicted.
Rick, basically what you're going to be able to do with this, and you guys will, I don't want to sit in this room talking to a jacket for the entire episode.
it could be funny, though.
What you can do with this jacket is you get 1 time per day, you can cast Alter Self as an action, and you will have to roll a wisdom save to alter yourself in the way that you want. The DC is going to be 14, and if you fail, like you just did, the jacket will alter you in the way that it best sees fit.
Okay.
The jacket is also +1 armor.
Is it +1 protection? The +1
Yeah.
cloak of protection?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Cool. And that is all you know about it for now.
Claire, we definitely need to talk, but we're in a little bit of a situation right here.
It is unhealthy to talk to your clothing. I understand.
Well, it's unusual. That is very true. And my friends are looking at me kind of funny here still. So,
Just pick the lock and try not to get me hurt too bad.
fair enough. And if you can protect me like you said, we're all good. All right. Let's see if I can quit rolling 2s. That's better. I picked the lock.
What did you roll?
15 plus 6, 21.
Yes, you did pick the lock indeed. So you pick the lock to this door, and you see in front of you a hallway about 35 feet long with 2 other halls that branch off both to the right, one about halfway down the hall and another one at the end. You feel an uneasy stillness in the air in this hallway as you begin to kind of, like as you open the door, it's almost like an unnatural heat comes into your room.
Okay. If you could shine your light another way, I'm going to go look around the corner.
Yeah, I've already got the shield facing a different direction.
Okay. I'm going to stealth. And I rolled another 21.
Okay, great. So are you going to look around the first corner?
Yes.
As you look around the first corner, you see another hallway that ends in a door that faces to the east.
Okay. And how long is the corridor?
That particular hallway is going to be another 25 feet south.
Okay.
And there's another 15 feet of hallway before you get to the next turn.
I'm going to move to the other hallway and take a look around the corner.
Okay, this one appears to end in a dead end, but the heat is way more intense down this hallway. You can see a vent, a small vent that's in the floor that maybe a small animal could fit in, like a cat or something.
A bird?
A bird, perhaps. But not that size of bird. It's just a small vent that seems to be where the heat is coming from.
Except that bird could. No. We had this discussion already. Never mind.
I will move back to the party and tell them what I saw.
Okay.
So, and I'm detect secret doors too.
Yeah. No, I've got your passive
Gotcha.
perception going on.
Okay.
Are there any like animal signs or like small like rodents or anything like that?
I mean, you can see some dry old rat poop,
But nothing
but that's
recent.
basically it. Yeah.
Nothing recent. Nothing that I could talk to and find out
Yeah.
more from.
No, there are no animals.
So,
Cool.
Depeche, what is your name again?
My name's Callum. I never
Callum?
got your name.
My name is Findel.
Findel.
You bring any particular set of skills down here, or are you just some random? Did you just fall in, or like what kind of assistance can you be? I just need to know what we're getting into. If I need to really watch for you, if you can take care of yourself.
I'm pretty sure I could hold my own. I've been around a bow my whole life.
around a bow, and would I notice that he has a bow on his?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
They're hard to hide.
Yeah, there's just a long
Well,
bow.
what do we see? Describe yourself to us.
So I have a longbow on my back. I'm relatively average size for a human, but I do give off like a slenderish look, like a half elf would. And I have a red bandana hanging from my neck, and covered in leather armor, and have like a satchel that seems to be holding like a bunch of various different things on it. But
And a sword.
Yeah, I do have I have 2 short swords hanging off my belt as well.
Okay. You said like a half elf? I'm very in tune with half elves. Would I pick up? He is a human though, right? He's
Yes.
not a half elf. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably got some half elf blood in him somewhere, but not enough to like give him the abilities of a half elf.
Okay. Well, still, I would consider him a brother if he's got any half elf in him at all. Well, Callum, it's glad to have you aboard. Looks like you are equipped to handle yourself. We can definitely use your talents, I think. So what do you want to do, guys? Should we check out this door first, or do you want to?
Well, the hallway
Please
is just
don't spend too long investigating the vent. I just put it there as flavor text.
If you put flavor text, you might as well just toss a
I know.
toss a catfish at us.
For some reason, Dolora's telling me to ignore the little vent.
Okay.
Well, Dolora hasn't guided us wrong yet. I mean, he is the one who found the door.
All right. I'm going to sneak down the hall and check for traps.
There are no traps on this door, and it is unlocked.
Oh, lovely.
All right, so just so I can have this correct, when we went through that door, it goes forward a little bit.
Yeah, the hall goes straight down and turns right after... There's one right turn after 20 feet, and there's another right turn after 35. Or at 35.
Okay. The door's not locked. I'll step back. Okay, Kellinack.
Do your thing.
Bring on the heat.
So Kellinack will walk up and just jerk open the door.
Okay, it opens. It's unlocked, untrapped. You see on the far side of the wall a writing board. These would usually be something in a temple that would be there to honor the dead. It hangs on the eastern wall of the room, and it reads, "Welcome as you enter." And very shortly after you enter the room, the letters vanish. There's a quill and ink sitting underneath the writing board.
Did they move?
No,
Is there anything else in the room?
there is not. It's an empty room other than the writing board.
Okay.
Hello?
Are there any lights or anything else in the room?
Not other than the torches and the shield.
Kellinack will just kind of look back over at the writing that just kind of disappeared then on the board. Hello?
Nothing responds.
What language was it in?
Common. There is also a door, kind of now the door you came in is to your west, and there's another door a little bit further down that western wall. So basically there are 2 doors on that western wall, one at the very top of it and one toward the bottom.
In the hallway, or in the
No,
room?
in the room.
In the room.
And the welcome board is in between the 2 doors?
The welcome board is on the eastern wall. It's
Okay.
on the other side of the room.
I'm going to go over and see, just kind of check out the quill.
It looks like a normal quill. It is well kept though, so it's probably been magically protected against the elements.
I'm going to check for secret doors and for traps.
You see neither of the 2.
Can I roll Arcana on the quill?
Yeah.
That is a 12.
You do not find anything unique about this quill,
Okay.
other than it's been protected against the weather.
Okay.
Well, not the weather; it's underground, but the weathering
Yeah.
against decay.
It's it's a base
Yes,
level
it's
enchantment.
enchanted. Yes.
So I'm actually going to take the quill, pick it up, and write in Druidic, "Thank you."
Okay. The board receives your letters, absorbs them, and comes back with "not you"
In Druidic or not?
in common.
In common. So I set the quill back down and step away, and I'm like,
Seeing that just worked for him, all right, I'll go up to the board and write, "My Lord Dolara has sent me."
The board accepts your letters, absorbs them, and comes back with, "I am not Dolara, but you are still welcome here."
Then I'll write, "Thank you."
It says you're welcome.
What happened to this place?
Everyone left.
Why?
Seasons change.
True. But who are you?
I am the protector of this temple.
I thought that would be Dolara.
It's that's basically what I would write back on the board.
Dolara has bigger fish to fry than this abandoned temple in Andair.
I would ask you, because it's in common, does that have anything to do with this oncoming darkness?
I'll write the question on the board.
I don't know about an oncoming darkness, but there are changes coming to Eberron. To Corvair specifically.
Changes for the good, changes for the bad.
Depends on your
It absorbs
perspective.
your letters and says, changes, ...
How soon are those changes coming?
I'm writing it on.
write it? Okay.
If they ask the question,
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to write it on the board.
Soon enough.
Are you part of those changes?
I am the protector of the temple.
I asked, does he have do you have a physical form? Can we speak to you without using the board?
It comes back with yes, but no.
Claire, do you know anything about this?
Oh no. I have been upstairs for probably a few hours.
I see.
So I don't suppose that you can give us a wee map of the place. Being the protector and all.
A wee map.
I'm just sitting in the back of the room staring at them as they're all talking to a board, and one of them was just talking to his jacket.
Well, they are writing on the board to talk
Well,
to it.
yeah.
A very small dot appears on the board.
I'm assuming it says "you are here," and then there's a giant X for "here's the exit."
No,
We know the exit.
If you had a magnifying glass, you would be able to see a very, very small map, a wee map, as it were.
I thank you for the map. Can we make it just a tad bit bigger?
It
A tad
expands.
bit.
It expands just a tad.
I think it's taking you a little bit literal there. How about have it something we could read?
Okay. Can you cover the entire board with a map?
It
Okay, how's he going to twist this around?
it pulls up a map of the entire continent. And it does put a dot and says, "You are here."
Kellinack.
Okay, I'm gonna draw a square. And what I need you to do is I need you to put the map of what is all in this building inside the square.
Below,
And I draw a good sized square.
It kind of starts with the upper levels of the temple and brings it all the way down to the bottom, but doesn't give you any levels, so it just looks like a jumble of lines.
How about just show us what's on the other side of the doors to start?
Okay.
So what are you looking for?
How about you just take the room that we're in and just in big enough we can read it, have it show us what's around the room that we're in
It draws a
Immediately.
square with 2 doors and 2 hallways.
Okay.
And a bunch of dirt.
And there's a door. There are 2 doors in this room. What's on the other side of those doors?
It's got the hallways.
Oh, 2 hallways.
2 hallways, yes.
Okay. Now, can you elaborate on the hallways and show us any doors or hallways off of those hallways?
Well, you already know the hallway to the north, because that's the way you guys came. But the hallway to the west goes down for about 20 feet or so, and then stops at a door.
And what's on the other side of the door?
Another room.
Can you show us traps?
It erases what's already on the board and begins drawing diagrams of many kinds of traps.
Can you...
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not giving you the secrets of the entire dungeon.
No,
via
I know.
the board.
That's why I stopped asking questions.
Thank you.
Kellinack runs over to the door and opens the door. I didn't say intellect was my strong suit here, sir.
The door's locked.
Would you like...
Findel!
Yes.
This door's locked. I need you to pick it again.
I will pick it. Would you step back?
Sure.
I'd check for traps.
I already told you there are no
there's
traps
no
or
traps.
secret doors.
12 on the...
12 does not pick the lock.
Okay. Do
Akrak,
have
you want to give it a
guidance?
Well, second verse same as the first. This time an 18.
Yep, that gets it. High priests, lower priests, just lots of different paintings of priests of the Church of the Sacred Flame. And you could almost swear that as you're walking down the hall, their eyes are following you.
Roll insight on this.
Yeah, you can. You probably won't find out much.
Never know what you may find. 27.
Yeah, you look at the paintings and like the eyes aren't moving. You've even maybe touched them and they're not squishy or anything. There are no holes in the paintings. It just the way that they're painted makes it always seem like they're looking.
Sorry,
at you.
26. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case...
Well, then no, you don't see anything at all.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, you're good.
How are they attached to the walls? I mean, could we move
Nails,
them?
yeah, you could
we
move
could
them.
just move them. Okay. No secret doors that I can
If you don't
see?
want them to look at you, you can turn them around if you want.
Take a Sharpie and
That's right.
draw a
mustaches.
mustache.
No secret doors. At the end of the hallway, there's a locked door that you notice is trapped.
All right. Kellinack, this door is trapped. I'm going to attempt to open it with a 12. So do I get shot with a...
You don't. 4 slots open up in the wall, and ropes shoot out and grab each of your appendages. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 on each arm, 1 on each leg, and begin pulling you in separate directions like you're on a rack. You're going to take D4 damage. You're going to take D4 damage now, and you will take D4 damage for each failed save that somebody makes, whether it's you or another player, to get you out. So you're going to take 1 damage immediately as it begins pulling. So
I take D4 immediately. I'm going to quit opening these traps. I'm not rolling that bad that I should be springing them.
Yep, D4, and the ropes are pulling you very, very intensely.
So I will grab my sickle and cut through one of the ropes.
Okay, roll to attack it.
Yeah, a 6.
That's just sick.
It does not cut. That's a failed save, so it's going to be another D4 damage. Right?
Clearly someone's been watching Forged in Fire.
Yep. 3 damage that time around.
Guys, okay, so now it's the ropes are holding me.
Yes, they're around each wrist and each ankle, and they're pulling you apart.
Right. Claire?
You're still very calm for someone who's being pulled apart currently.
I got a pretty good, Claire?
Sure.
Is there anything you can do to help, dear?
I have just a jacket. Get your friends to help.
Seeing that the Arakakra just failed what he was trying to do, I'm gonna take suit and immediately pull out one of my short swords and take a swing at the at one of the ropes.
Okay. Roll the attack.
I'm going to put my lucky feat to use and spend one of my luck points to get advantage on this roll.
Okay, you can spin those retroactively.
Oh, so I can use it.
Yeah,
after.
yeah. You can wait to see what you roll to add a d20.
Okay, well then, yeah, let's just do that then real quick. Let's see.
I don't think you'll need the lucky on that.
19.
No, you slash through one of the ropes easily.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna keep trying to keep going at it.
All right, well, Kellinack, you make a roll.
Well, I don't have a sharp object. I only have the warhammer.
I hit it, fail, and he takes 4d4 damage.
I mean, I could go try and break the rope, but we've already established strength is not really high for me.
That's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably a good idea for you to back off.
I'll make an attempt again.
Well, I need Rick to make another attempt to pull himself in. This is going to be a strength check.
Strength? Athletics or strength?
Strength.
Strength would be a 12.
12 is good enough for you to not take damage.
Okay.
Jason?
That's a lot better. That's a 16.
16 slashes through a rope. Both of your hands are free now.
So he's just getting the Jean-Claude Van Damme treatment.
Would someone please disconnect these ropes for me?
All right, go ahead.
Alright, yeah. Take a swing at one of the ropes.
Okay.
Another 19.
Slashes through a rope. All right, Findel, you can now, your arms are free. You can pull out like your knife or a rapier or something and slash the other rope.
That would be
Good
a
enough.
20.
Yep, you got it. All right, you are now free from the trap. Now you've just got to unlock the door. Akrak, do you want to start it this time?
Before we unlock the door, Kellinack, I could use a little rejuvenation here, sir. These traps are killing me.
Literally.
All right.
I don't know what's behind the door, and I don't want to find out in my condition.
Okay, never mind. I thought that read something higher. This time it's a 11.
That is not good enough to pick the lock.
Oh, great. I take care of the trap for you. Of course, I keep triggering these things.
Yeah, I don't know if that's taking care of the trap.
Well, it does.
That's true. All right, do you want to try picking the lock here?
I will. Let's see if I can...
Well, I'm going to heal him real quick, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So, let's see. It'll just be cure wounds on him. So, 8.
I don't like opening doors when I'm...
7.
That's perfect. Leave
It's
me
7
one
plus
down.
Constitution, right?
No, that's it. That's I already
Okay,
calculated everything
gotcha.
back into it.
All right.
Gotcha.
That's good enough.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So
I
go
will-
ahead and try to unlock the door.
Would you like to assist me?
No, he already tried.
Oh, okay. Doesn't somebody have guidance as a cantrip?
That's metagaming.
Oh, no. I mean, that's, you know. No, I failed miserably.
Oh, jeez. All right, so you guys will spend the rest of the day stuck at this door.
I just lean up to him and be like, let me see those lockpicks real quick. I can start kind of pushing you aside while you have the lockpick still in there. I'm going to try to attempt real quick to pick the lock. I'm going to use lucky. So that was a nat 3. Okay, so 12 plus 6, so 18.
18 will do it.
All right.
All right, so you pick the lock, it cranks it, and the door swings open a little bit. Inside this room, you see statues of the same old dead high priests that are along these walls, lining each wall of this room, and in the middle is a pit. And from the pit, you can hear music. Kind of like a thump, 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 thump.
Well, that's, I guess some people define that as music. So do I hear any rap or anything like that?
No, you're not close enough to hear any other accompaniments. You can just hear the low frequency bass.
Is there a trap inside the door? I'm going to check the
There's no
floors.
door, it's a
Okay.
pit.
No, I'm talking about as we move through the door. Would
Oh,
the
no,
chap
yeah,
on the
you've
floor or
already,
anything? Okay.
yeah, you've got the active, passive perception.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you want me to take a look?
Well, take a look. How big is the room?
This room is 30 by 30.
Okay. And the pit is what, like 10 foot?
The pit itself is 10 foot wide
Okay.
on each side. It's a circular pit.
Gotcha.
It's been built into the room.
And there's no other doors?
Nope. This is it.
Looking over at the pit, do we see like any like small outcroppings or anything like that?
Nope. It is a pit.
Okay.
Do you want to take a torch and chunk it down there?
We could. Or we could, I'm not sure I'd really want to toss a torch because if there's something down there that we don't want to injure.
I mean, my friend over here might be able to fly.
That's what I was thinking. Was
Well, let's take a look first. Or let's, I'm going to check
The only way to take
statues.
a look is to toss the torch.
well, actually,
Well, I can look down
no.
there.
I tie the rope around my waist and hand it to you, and I just slowly glide down. It's gonna be.
Sure, but you don't have dark vision, so once you get a certain
I
distance
have a
away-
torch.
Oh, I thought you said you were handing the torch to him.
No, I handed the other end of the rope to him.
Let me just look over since I can see without the torch, and then we'll go in.
Well, I'm gliding over the hole right now. I'm just flapping my wings over it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to peer over.
Yeah, so you look over the hole, and just at the very edge of your dark vision, you can lightly see, and I mean like at the very edge. This is probably actually more like 70 feet away.
Okay.
You can very lightly see the outline of something down there. You can't tell what because it exceeds your dark vision distance.
But so there's an end. I can basically
There
tell
is an
there's
end to the pit. Yes,
Okay.
it's not bottomless.
Okay. And the statues, I'm going to inspect them very carefully.
They're just marble statues. They're very well made, though.
So do you
let's
tell me
toss
that-
the statue over in the pit.
No, so do you tell me that you can kind of sort of see an end? Because I'm gonna slowly descend.
Yeah, I think you got about 60, 70 feet before it
So I
stops.
take my torch. I kind of hold it out a little bit away from me, so that way I don't make myself a big ass target, and just slowly descend.
Yeah, so you get down to the bottom of this pit, and at the bottom is a very large room. It looks like it used to be some kind of a grand hall, like a weird grand hall, that has since been made into a storage room from before this thing was ever nixed. And at the bottom of this pit is a net that overhangs a large spike trap. Yeah, so as you're kind of shining the torch around the room, you see all kinds of things like casks and barrels full of very well-aged wine, and you see a very ornate, extremely large door that spans 20 feet wide by 25 feet tall.
So I kind of just do a cursory glance around, and then I fly back up,
Yeah.
and basically give the general lay of the land of what's down there, and basically say I could tie this rope off somewhere down there. We could make a decent like rope means of conveyance because of the spike trap. We don't want to have someone, but even though there's a net, you said there's a net over it, correct?
Yes.
I don't want anybody to
Sure.
fall into that.
Well, I'll go ahead and tie the rope off to one of the statues, one end.
Okay.
I give it a good tug, like let my body, because I still have the wings, so I kind of let my natural body weight fall.
Okay, I'm assuming you guys are tying two ropes together.
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm letting my natural body weight kind of see if will it hold my weight.
Yeah, it does. It's fine.
And then I'll take the rope down the rest of the way and tie it off, so that way people have a means of conveyance.
And I'll follow him down right after
Yeah,
that.
y'all roll athletics checks to make it down safely. We'll just do a group athletics check. You don't need to participate, Crack. You can fly. But everybody else make an athletics check.
And at that point, I break out into Peter Pan.
Now, will we have advantage if we tie off and lower ourselves down?
No, that's what's allowing you to be able to come down.
Without having to do a disadvantage or any other style. I gave you the rope ladder. Oof.
12.
18.
4.
Good thing this is a group check, because as long as half of you make it, everybody makes it fine. So you have made it fine, everybody. So you guys come into this room, and you see all these barrels and all kinds of stuff throughout the room, and you see this very large door.
By the way, I just for player notes, I go back up, I fly, I untie the rope, and have it.
Sure.
Sorry, it's
No, it's fine.
So we won't
come
have
down.
a rope to get out,
get up quickly, but I can still fly up the hole.
providing you're with us. If you're not with us,
The assumption being that you
screwed.
live.
right? Are you?
So you see this this large ornate door, 20 foot wide by 25 foot tall, in 4 different sections, and you can tell, Findel, that each section is trapped individually,
I've been doing
and you
so
have to
well.
and you have to either trigger or negate each trap. Otherwise, the entire trap is going to go off, and you can't just roll a sleight of hand check to get rid of these traps. Each is going to have its own individual way of disarming.
So
You
kind of
see,
is it kind of like a puzzle box door?
sort of like a puzzle door, yes. So as you look at this door, you see from left to right, you see a carving of a droplet, a carving of a coin, a carving of a musical note, and a carving of a tooth.
I'm taking. We all see that. Just real quick, does the
So
drop
it's 4 vertical panels.
Yes.
does the droplet match any known like symbology with the barrels in the room?
No, not necessarily.
And we still hear the music.
Yes, the music is in fact louder, and you can hear other instruments accompanying it now.
Can we tell where it's coming from?
It's coming from the other side of this door.
Other side of this door.
So which wall is the door on?
The door itself is on the eastern wall.
So the barrels of refreshment and the other things in the room.
So now that you're down here with the entire party, you look around the entire room. You see these large barrels of wines and other drinks. You see, and they've been aged for quite a while, aged really well. You see a pedestal.
How old are they? Just out of curiosity.
I didn't write a number down. How old do you want them to be?
I mean,
100 years, 60 years. I don't care.
well, how long has how long has the temple been deserted?
I mean, at least a couple decades at this point.
Okay, so
So at least, I mean, they're older than that though.
okay, that's what I needed to know. Are they older than the desecration of the temple?
Yeah. On the northern wall, you see a pedestal that has bread that is somehow enchanted to never grow old. You see in the corner of the room, in the northwest corner of the room, there's a violin. And right next to the door, you see an empty coin purse.
I'll go up to the coin purse and go ahead and say, "Here's my donation." Drop in a copper or silver. Sorry.
That piece of the door kind of elevates itself. The panel slides up into the roof.
So we've got the wine, which is probably the droplet, the note, the violin, and the tooth be the bread. So, but we could tell there's a certain order that they needed to. No, we couldn't.
Nope, they're just 4 panels.
With an insight, I'm going to try to determine what note needs to be played on the violin based off of where the note
There
is.
is no way you would be able to tell that.
Okay.
No possible. Not even a level 20 bard would be able to know that.
Okay.
Because I don't care about that part.
Well, I also have a stomach of iron, so I'll eat the bread too.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take a bite of the bread.
Okay, it tastes like bread that rats have nibbled on.
What about trying breaking the bread and, feeding us? Well, that's a religious ceremony.
That's true.
I'll break the bread
Okay.
and hand it to him.
Okay.
Okay. And I partake of the bread, and
Yep.
that's it. Okay.
Make a constitution save.
Crit.
Nice. Okay, so you survive without any scarring on your inner tubes or whatever, and the panel lifts.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, the cast iron stomach wasn't going to be that easy of a getaway.
Well, he doesn't really have a cast iron stomach. It's not like 7C.
Well, that's
He's
true.
just got resistance.
No, I got resistance to
That's true.
poison,
Yeah.
so that's
Right.
yeah.
I'll attempt to play a note on the violin.
Okay. Roll perform. You're not proficient in violin, which you don't get disadvantage. You just don't get proficiency.
I know.
Yeah.
An 18.
Nice. So you play. You remember learning a little bit of violin as a child, which was only like a few months ago.
Pretty much.
And so you play kind of the scale that you knew, and that panel slides up.
So if nobody's stopping him, I'm running over to one of those old casks of wine
Okay. Do it.
and proceeding to take a huge drink.
Absolutely. Roll a Constitution save. This is not for poison.
12.
You don't vomit, but as soon as it touches your tongue, you taste blood and not wine.
Oh, I'm spitting it out.
Does it smell and look like blood to us? Or
No.
does
This tastes like blood.
Perhaps we need to give it some blood. I'll prick my finger
Okay.
and let a drop of blood, fall on the ground.
1 damage. You'll have to let out a little bit more than a drop to satisfy it, but which is why it'll take 1 damage. Eventually, you would get there. So the final panel slides up, and the door, you hear a loud crack, and it swings open, and the room is flooded with heat and music and light. And as you look into this T-shaped room, it's a very large room. It goes, it's 50 feet long, and the immediate hallway, the first 30 feet of it are 20 feet wide, and the rest of it is 40 foot wide. So it's like a T shape. And at the very end of it, you see a person standing in a robe, kind of orchestrating tons of instruments that are lining the walls. And he looks up as you open this door and kind of smiles, and you see an abnormally large mouth and abnormally large eyes. And as he takes off his hood, you see 3 tendrils where hair should be raise up off of kind of the back of his neck and turn to look at you with 3 other eyes. And that is where we'll end the session. Thanks so much for joining us for Well, That Didn't Work. We'll see you next week. And I am your GM, Percy, and with me I have Mike.
And I'm just going to tell you good night.
Daniel,
All right, good night.
Jason,
Hackerack?
and Rick.
Good night. See you soon.
Bye.